My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of the 1991 movie Cape Fear. And this movie got good reviews, not great, but I still expected to love this movie. Like, based on everything I heard about it, I thought it was going to be a very underrated flick. But it turns out that's not the case because I kinda actually despised this movie. I don't even know how it got good reviews. Like, if this movie was directed by anyone else, I think it would be widely regarded as trash. But because Martin Scorsese directed it, it gets praise. Just absurd. Absolutely absurd. But let's begin talking about what I did like, and I do think the premise of this movie had potential. And there was one scene where there was this girl in the kitchen, and I told my brother, if she turns around and it's Robert De Niro in a wig, I'm going to just love this movie. And then immediately after, she turns around and it turns out to be Robert De Niro in a wig, and we both just started laughing hysterically. That was easily my favorite moment. And that's where my positives end. Like, I don't even think the performances in this movie are good. I see Robert De Niro being praised for his work here. This might be one of the worst performances I've seen from him, and I've seen The War with Grandpa. Like, I do not think he's remotely menacing or creepy in this movie at all. It's just a bad, flat performance, and even when he's trying to be charming, I also thought that fell flat, so I was not impressed at all. Nick Nolte I found to be very bland. Jessica Lange, she is fine, but she has nothing to work with. And Juliette Lewis is fine. So, performances, eh. The direction by Martin Scorsese I thought was bad. This movie is one that relies on tension, and not once was I on the edge of my seat. Not once did I get goosebumps. Not once was I like truly invested in a moment. I just feel like this movie was completely lacking. I thought the editing was really bad, and I did not like the way the music was used. And then we get to the script, which is really the movie's biggest issue, because it's nothing new. I've seen this kind of movie many times before and done so much better. And the execution just fell flat. The villain is this evil scumbag who they try to make out to be complex, but he's really not. Like, when you get the big explanation at the last act, it didn't add new layers to the character. I'm just like, so? Like, I don't care. This guy's still just an evil scumbag. There's no level of gray morality here. Good is clearly good, and bad is clearly bad, and that's all there is to this movie. It's very simple. And it just felt so straightforward. Like, everything you think this movie is from the first 10 minutes is exactly what this movie is. It doesn't evolve, and it doesn't do it in an effective manner. But then we also get to the big issue with this movie, and I say this a lot with Scorsese's movies, but this movie's like way too long. Like, I would argue it's 50 minutes too long. Like, this could have been a tight 80 minutes, but holy shit, every single scene goes on for far too long. Like, to a laughable extent. Like, this is some of the worst pacing I've seen, and it was boring. Like, there was a moment where I'm like, okay, the movie has to be wrapping up now, and there was still 20 minutes left, and I'm like, just shoot me, just shoot me. I also found the villain was too far fetched. Like, they tried to make him out to be this mastermind, but really the main characters were just really stupid, and I just thought he was poorly written, almost to a laughable degree. Like, there's a moment where he's hanging off the bottom of a vehicle for who knows how long, and it's just too far-fetched. And I can forgive that if the movie was campy or whatever, but this movie is grounded in reality, and it just took me out of it. And then when we get to the ending of this movie, I'm just like, oh, that's the outcome? Wow, like this movie is just spineless. Like, it doesn't have any punch to it, it doesn't have any guts, it's just blah. It's generic, it's forgettable. So, I don't want to end this review on too much of a downer. So, what I will say is, here's a list of a few movies I was thinking about while watching this movie that are far superior. The Gift, directed by Joel Edgerton, starring Jason Bateman and Rebecca Hall, came out 2015. Great movie, very similar, but much better. The Sleeping with the Enemy. I liked this movie. It's Julia Roberts, 1992, I want to say. But anyways, I enjoyed that movie. And then Fear in 1996 with Mark Wahlberg. All three of those movies, more worth your time than this one. This movie was never tense, it was never thrilling. I thought the script was garbage. I thought the performances fell flat. Aside from maybe some potential and one funny moment, I'll give Cape Fear a 1.5 out of 10. Yeah, I really did not like this one, but do you like it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin